So Eric, who was 38, his first sperm analysis here, you can see it, came back as zero. Zero. I have never had anyone's test come back as zero. And then with some changes, it went up to 1.78. And then with some more changes, it went up to 6.4. With targeted nutrition, supplement, lifestyle, and energetic strategies. 1 year later, they got their positive pregnancy test after having zero viable sperm on his first test. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about their story because I hear and I see so many stories shared by women who are so beyond frustrated with their journey and their doctors on social media that this is a very similar example. If we weren't working together, his doctor, his PCP, told him one of his medications that I found can affect sperm quality. He said that it doesn't affect sperm quality, when in fact it does. There were multiple studies showing that the medication can affect sperm quality. And we saw the change when his results went from 0 to 1.78 million in 3 months after finding an alternative medication that I was able to do as a pharmacist using that as my background. And his doctor gave the okay. And then also, doctors don't spend nearly enough time on guidance, education, support nutrition, supplement lifestyle changes. And another one of his doctors, I can't remember if it was the PCP or not, told him the supplements I had him taking were useless. But this was also proven wrong when we saw more changes from the 1.78 million to the 6.4 million in another 3 months. So 6.4 million is still low, although it was a big jump from zero. I recommended he schedule an appointment with a urologist in which they found a variocele, which those can be common. The doctor barely touched on informed choices and options for treatment of a variocele and told them IUI was not an option because the count was too low and the IVF was the only option for them. And this was proven wrong after I recommended he do a variocelectomy, and they got a positive pregnancy test 2 months out from surgery. It isn't even expected for the sperm to be regenerated until 3 to 4 months after surgery. So that was a much faster recovery and turnaround than expected. And if you think about it, if we weren't working together, they would have been pushed to do multiple IVF rounds, maybe even a sperm donor, depending on the quality of the sperm that they would be getting from him. Which realistically, with the state of his sperm, that the sperm health was in, and without addressing the things that we worked on together, I don't even know if IVF would have worked. And let's just say that they did try to do IVF. A single IVF cycle can cost up to $30,000. And being in their mid 30s, they would have had under a 40% success rate, and it most likely would have taken 2 to 3 or more cycles to even possibly achieve a positive, sustainable pregnancy. So the real sad but true part about this is doctors are humans too, and they can't possibly know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but I will certainly do my research for a client. The problem I have with doctors is a lot of them tend to have egos that are too big to admit that they don't know something, and they refuse to do outside research. And this is when working with a fertility expert and a coach can really start shifting things in a positive way. So much so that you can go from zero sperm and hopeless to making intentional, informed choices and pregnant within 1 year. Their story just gives me chills every time. It really, really does.